Hello guys, today we will talk about Cloud Deploy. So basically Cloud Deploy is a managed service so that helps to automate the delivery of our application to a series of target environments. So like in target environments right now we have Google Kubernetes Engine and Cloud Run. So like we can automate like delivery of like all that things like we want to create a new deploy a new image, so we can use Cloud Deploy. So it is a streamlined, it is a fully manageable and continuous delivery. So with the help of this one clicks we can even roll out to the new image. If something happens like some issues, we can roll back also with that Cloud Console. And it has like we have access with CLI console and API access as of now, and it is also integrated with popular tools out like Cloud Build and Jenkins. So like if you have created a new image with the help of Cloud Build, so you can just use that image into Cloud Deploy to deploy that image into GKE, and it leverages scaffold. So like basically we manage all the configuration with the help of scaffold, the kind of deployment tool. So if we see, this is the architecture diagram which we used when we use Cloud Deploy. So basically like if we want to deploy in any application, first of all we have to create a delivery pipeline. So in the delivery pipeline we have to define our targets. So like we want to use the delivery pipeline to deploy our application to specific targets. So these are the targets which we define. So these are targets like can be like Cloud Run or GKE. After that, once the delivery pipeline and target has been defined, we create a release. So in that release, we will use scaffold, and we will provide that our configuration. Like if you want to deploy to Kubernetes, you will provide like pod manifest or deployment manifest. So and like if you want to deploy in Cloud, and you also provide a manifest for that .yaml file to deploy over the Cloud Run. So once we provide that release, we will just roll out that uh, release. So what will happen once we roll out? So that rollout, that configuration which we want to deploy, will deploy on our targets. Okay. So like first of all, we have created delivery pipeline which are attached to our target, and after that we create a release, and that release will do a rollout on our targets. And these targets can be like GKE, Anthos, cluster, or any other runtime like if you are using Cloud Run. So basically, this is a high level architecture diagram. We will see how we create all these things, and after that we use a scaffold like the Cloud command line tool, so that enables continuous development for like Kubernetes Kubernetes native application, and it is kind of CI/CD pipeline activities we can control with the help of this. Like we can build, render, test, deploy, and all that. And in this, we deploy like in your delivery pipeline simply defines that progression from target to target. So in delivery pipeline, we just define that progression like this is our target and that is our target like GK or Cloud Run. While that scaffold configuration defines which manifest, I have told like which configuration file like pod manifest, you can see deployment service which we want to use, that is all managed by scaffold. So whenever we do a release, like if I do a release, I do a rollout, so what will happen at the back end, it will be done via Cloud Build. So if you know what is Cloud Build, if you go back to the Cloud Build and check, you will see a build is triggered in that Cloud Build automatically with the, so Cloud Deploy will use Cloud Build to deploy that application at the back end. And these are the steps. First of all, we have to create a delivery pipeline. Then we have to create the targets. So target can be GK or Cloud Run as of now. And then we will do the release. So we will see how all these in this video. And this is a very basic video. We will not cover too much advanced. In the next video, we will move to automation and canary deployment. So let's start our console demo. So this is my Cloud Deploy console screen. So we have two options, whether you can go directly from delivery like from the console, or you can go via CLI also, like Cloud Shell also. You can choose whichever you want to use. So for like testing and all that, we can use this also like for console, but for the production, basically it is recommended to go via like Cloud Shell, so you can check what you are deploying. So proper code must be there. So first of all, like first we try to deploy via Cloud Shell only. So this is my cloud deploy.yaml file. So we have to create a cloud deploy.yaml file whenever we want to create a delivery pipeline. So this is our delivery pipeline. So In this, we are using a API version, deploy cloud google.com slash v1 kind of delivery pipeline. It is kind of same manifest which we used for like Kubernetes. So it is kind of same only. And after that, this is metadata, just providing a name and all that. After that, we are providing a description. The main steps are start from here like serial pipeline. So we have provided a stage here. So stage is like QS dev, and profiles. We can give a profile name also if you want to, but I'm just leaving it blank. So here can be multiple stages, like you want to deploy first dev, then staging, then production. So you can add multiple stages. So we will see a multiple stage pipeline also, but we will check via browser instead of like via console, not from here. So this is our delivery pipeline. So what will happen once we run the command line command, it will just create a pipeline. So let's go to terminal and just run these commands. So in the I'm in my command line, so let me go into the specific folder where these files are like cloud gk, and I will just copy this command. So I'm using gcloud deploy and apply, and this is the file cloud deploy.yml. I'm choosing a region and that my project id. I will just click on enter. So my pipeline has been created. If I go here and just refresh this, so we can see when my pipeline is there. So if we go inside our pipeline, so as of now we don't have any release, not nothing at all out, not automation. Even we don't have a target also. But we can see the YAML file if you want to see. This is the YAML which we have provided, and it has created the specific thing. So our delivery pipeline has been created. Now next part is to create a target. So as we know that for the target we are using Kubernetes cluster. So this is my Kubernetes cluster. I'm using this location and like a specific zone, US Center 1C, and this is why this is the name of that cluster. So this is that YAML file for that specific thing. So this is our target which we are going to use. This is our like name of the cluster, which we have also defined in cloud deploy.yml. Even you can see that this is the target id which we are referencing here, us dev. After that, this is the description. This is the gk cluster which I'm using, and this is my uh, us central 1 hyphen c. I'm using a zonal cluster, so I have provided a like zonal name like the hyphen c. If you are using a regional cluster, you don't need to provide a specific zone name. So just this is the thing which we are going to create a target. So now let's deploy that file. So just I will update this cloud deploy to target.yml. Target has been created. So if we go back to our pipeline and click on target, so we can see our target, it is there, and it is also already like referencing to our delivery pipeline which we have created previously. So if we go inside now in our pipeline, and we can check out all the things. So now we can see that we have this, our target is present here, which is our Kubernetes cluster. So now all that, now pipeline and target has been there. So we have to just deploy our application to this specific target now, and pipeline is ready. So the now the main part is we have to create a release. So this is I'm using Kubernetes pod YAML. It is a very basic pod YAML. Just I am providing a container name which is nginx, and this is my pod name getting started, and this is the image which I'm going to use. So it is a Google container registry image only, which is provided by Google. So I'm using going to use this image. So here it is like you can like put this like my name, my image, anything, this specific thing, and you while running that like release via the cloud shell, you can provide the image name also. So if you want to use, you can do depend upon how you want to use this specific configuration. After that, this is my scaffold which is I'm going to use to deploy my contain this my pod into that Kubernetes cluster. This is my API version, this is the kind config, and this is the deployment which I'm going to use, and this is going to use kubectl, like which we know kubectl is a kind of like language which to interact with cluster. And this is the manifest, in manifest mean with the file which you want to use. So we are stating a k8 means Kubernetes hyphen star. So any file which is starting with Kubernetes, this specific k8 kas, and after that anything must be there, it will use that file. So here our file is starting like Kubernetes hyphen pod.yml, so it will go into use this specific file. Now let's go back to our terminal and just run that pipeline. This is the command I'm going to use: gcloud deploy release create and I'm going to provide my release, which is release name, which is GKE. After that, I'm providing project ID, region in which I want to create, and after that, I have to provide a delivery pipeline name. So which we have created in previous step. This is my GK demo app1. So I'm providing that here. Just will click enter and let's wait. So meanwhile, it is running the command. If we refresh this page, so even if you go to releases, we can see it is started working. We can see it is trying to deploy that step specific pod into our Kubernetes cluster. And even in rollout, we can check what is the status as of now. So basically, rollout means that it will roll out our changes into our Kubernetes cluster, or we can say Cloud Run also if you want to deploy our Cloud Run. And these steps are automation. If you want to create automation, we can do that also. And this is like automation runs set target. So we can see this is it has been deployed successfully. Even if you want to check the logs, you can go inside this rollout and you can click on this, click on deploy. It will just stream all the logs which you can check, and you can see all the like pod getting started, all things. You can check out logs. If it is failed, it provides that logs also why it is failing. After that, let's go back, and if you go to build also, you can see like latest build which has ran like at 4.7, a build has run for 14 seconds. You can go inside that build also, which is run by like cloud deploy to add at the backend for our deployment. So like it is pulling that image, we can see, and it has after that is copying the scaffold file which we have provided and copying manifest file, hitting fetching cluster endpoint, all that, and after that it is waiting. So it is done by that cloud deploy cloud build at the backend. So now if we log into a cluster also, I'm already logged in. So if you don't know how to log in, just go here and just copy this command, connect, and copy this command, run that command, you can log in into a cluster. So if I run kubectl get pods, so we can see we have a pod running and it is 93 seconds and it is name is getting started, which we have provided here. So this is my Kubernetes, this is my pod name getting started. So we have created a pipeline, very basic pipeline with the help of cloud deploy. So this is for Kubernetes cluster, and now we can do the same thing with the cloud run also. So now let's do the same thing with cloud run. Let me change my folder. So this is, I'm using this specific folder for cloud run. So this is my delivery pipeline. You can see this is the same pipeline which I'm using previously. And this I have a serial pipeline. Stage is only one stage. I'm using run QS dev, and this is my profile. So make let me change this name. And in this you can see I'm using the target in that cloud deploy.yaml only. So you can use in the same file, you can use multiple files for like for target and cloud delivery pipeline. After that I am using that target. I am like this is my name, which is the target ID. After that I have the location where I want to deploy my cloud run, and so I want this to in this project location in your central one. So this is very basic. If I go back and run this the same command, it will just deploy that. So let's go to cd cloud run. Unless we have all the files, we have to just provide that apply target yeah, sorry, the cloud deploy.yaml. We will click this enter, and if you go back and click on delivery pipelines, it will start it. See, it has already created the pipeline for us. And if you go to target, it we can see now target is already attached, so we don't have to create a target separately in this specific one. Now if you go back and open the editor, and we can check this now run service.yaml. So it is a very basic service, like in the cloud run basically we get the service only, so that can distribute traffic to our backends. This is a service, and in this specific we have a template which is using this specific container image, and this is our scaffold. So in this scaffold we are using a config, again a name, and we are in this we use specifically profiles. So we are using a profile which is like name is dev, and this is a manifest. In manifest we are asking raw yaml, which will basically using this specific file run service dot hyphen dev dot yaml. So the configuration little bit different between Kubernetes and cloud run, which we define in scaffold. So you can check it out and this and over the documentation also, but it is very basic only, not nothing much to be check. And after that deployment, we want to use Cloud Run. So let's deploy this also. So let's go back after, yeah. So let's go back and deploy this. We'll run the same command, just we will change the release name. So let's change it to Cloud Run. After that, change our this pipeline name to GKP2, which we are using, and we will just click on enter. Okay, look like some error we are getting. Was not found. Let me check what name I have given. So delivery pipeline. So this is our name. Sorry, I miss. Let's update the correct name and let's go back to pipeline. Go inside this Cloud Run. So we can see when the rollout it will start in some time. So we can see release has been created. If you go to rollout also, it will soon it roll out this specific thing. It as of now it is in queue. So we can see it is starting deploying over the Cloud Run. So if you go back to the Cloud Run also and just refresh this, we will see a service will soon appear here. We can see the service has been appear. So it is saying the required authentication. So these all things you have to manually change, like what you want, what are the reference you want, and like what configuration you want, which port you open. So this can all the can be configured. So now the last part for this demo we are going to do is we will create this via console. So you can do that console also as I told in the previously. So the main thing you have to remember, see if you create a single target pipeline, which I'm just as of now creating, there will be no charge. If you create first multiple target, so multiple target means there can be multiple target like two targets, like first for dev, after that was prod, or you can dev prod staging as you can create, or you can even create for Kubernetes and Cloud Run in the same only. And even if after that each additional multi-target pipeline you have to give a $5. So I want to say if you're like practicing with this multi-target pipeline, just beware otherwise of free trial account, or if you are using your own money you can get a hefty bill. So but I've read that if you use the same name for the multiple target pipeline it will count as one only. So I have not know whether it will work or not, because still my bill has not been generated for this specific cloud deploy. So as of now I have created test with the name a pipeline with a test in the previously. So as I remember that if we use the same pipeline name for multi-target, it will be count as one for a month. So if I delete and create again, so it will count as one only. I don't have to pay again and again. That's why I'm using this name as test. After that, we have to choose a region. So let's select US Central one. After that, you have two options like you can choose which over where you want to deploy. So I have a single cluster, so I let deploy over Cloud Run. I don't want to go with GK as of now. After that you have to create a target. So this is all the thing which we have previously shown with the Cloud Shell. So first of all we are creating a pipeline. This if we just create a pipeline, this looks like this. After that we are adding a target. So we have added a target now. Even if we have now more options, like if you want to require approvals for rollout, like someone from your team or admin approve, you can do that. Even we can enable canary, like for the new deployment only 10% traffic will go, and once it is confirmed that traffic is good you can just promote it, or we can just promote next release the target to next release or on successful rollout. Like if your dev environment is looks good, it will automatically replicate or promote that release to staging environment, then prod. So these are all the things you have to discuss with your team, like how you want to create a pipeline. So I will cover like these all things in future video. Next video, the canary and automatic release. Let we can check this option as of now. Okay, now click and more target. Looks good. Require approvals for rollout. So we can remove here only for second target. We want approval, and like let name it prod, and let name it test for better understanding. So like for the production, please don't use like console. It is not like you can use Cloud Shell to better manage your configuration. So now let's click on create. So my pipeline has been created, as you can see, and this is my first step. After that, it will deploy to prod, and all looks good. Now we can see that we have two targets. We can see the YAML also. So like we have two serial pipeline in stages one test. After that we have prod. Now let's create a release. So you can create a release from the console also. So let's give a release name. So we can see test to prod. After that, if you have an image, already have an image, you can just select that image. Like you have a image from your artifact registry or container registry, you can select, or you can just use a test image. So I'm going to use the test image of Google Cloud only. I don't have an image as of now, but if you have, you can just use that image. Like you have a build config, use cloud build to create a image, then now you want to deploy that image to your test and stage or prodding environment. So you just call that image here and then this release, so it will just automatically deploy that. After that, we have to select the test service name, the deployment details. This is test, this is prod. So click on view manifest. So this is the same manifest which we have used previously, as you remember. So if you go back here, go to editor and click on this, you can see the same manifest. Even cloud deploy will generate a manifest for you. You can even customize it if you want to add something new. So you can see we have the same manifest for both the, like now the for the prod also, and we have a scaffold file also. This is the same scaffold file which I've used previously. So if you go here, we can check. This is the scaffold file. Deployment is cloud run. Profiles, we have two profiles as of now. We are using this all that. You can even customize this also if you want to add more things. And everything looks fine. Just click on create. So we can see now it has started deploying our application. Let's go to cloud run, just refresh it. We will see that it is created a test one, which is our test application. So now let's wait to it is complete. So it has been completed. Now we have two options. Like if you go back to our pipeline, yeah, and go inside it. So now it is asking us to promote it. So whether can choose the option to automatically promote, or if you want to first test it in your test environment whether it is working fine or not, have any issues. Once you are okay with that, you can just click on promote button. So we are asking you to promote it, and the phase is stable only, and so it will promote it to our, like, into prod environment. We will click on promote. After that, as you remember, we have put it a let approval also. So now it is pending to approval state. So like your admin or your anything like manager, anyone who has that taking the lead can come and review everything, that test is working fine, and he will click on this review option. And now he has to approve this specific, like now you have to click here on the review option and just click on approve. So once he approve, it will like uh, deploy to prod also. Now we can see it is going over to prod. So if we refresh here, we can see now it is deploying to prod. Now this is a very basic thing which we are trying to do. So we have created a pipeline, first test then prod. Even if you like call multiple, like even between staging, UAT, anything you want to call, multiple environments, so one by one it will deploy everything and you can just check everything is working fine or not. Even this, we have the rollouts also before. Now we can check the rollout. See, everything is green. If it show a red, so you can even roll back also. So as of now, we don't have any. We cannot roll back because we don't. This is our first deployment. But if you have multiple deployments, something goes wrong, just click on rollback and go back to previous version. It will just, that will very helpful. If you want to redeploy, something happens like it is not working fine, or you want to restart, just click on redeploy, and you can restart within cloud run, all that. So this is a very basic thing which I covered. In the next part, I will thinking of covering like canary deployment, how we can check that our traffic is working fine. After that, it will automatically that promote the full traffic. And after that, we even check automations, like you don't have to do anything. Just you have to run the pipeline. It will automatically check if everything looks fine. Then only it will promote, it will wait, all that. We'll check in the next part. So this is very basic demo which we have covered. And make sure if you are creating this pipeline, mm, beware of the cost. Even I don't know whether what cost is they are going to take, like charge me, because this is the first time I'm trying this cloud deploy. So but but they have written the single type target pipeline has no charge, so I've created multiple pipelines and deleted also. but make sure that for the first multi-target is free, and for each additional they will cost $1.05. But as I've read somewhere, like if you use the same name for the multiple target pipeline in a month, it will not charge anything, even if I delete and recreate it. So make sure, and if you have any issue, anything you want to ask or comment or suggest, just comment it down. I will try to help you. Thank you.